Okay, Wayne D here. Thanks for joining the website. And right in front of us, we've got the most interesting story in golf these days, and that's Mr. Woods taking a look at his swing as it changes, and he works on it. He's played nicely at the Australian Open this week, and what I wanted to show you is how different the swing and the attempt to swing is now from a year ago. And you got to consider that this is with the same instructor. So let's go back to the Chevron last year where Tiger almost won that tournament, and let's watch the rehearsal in this swing here. So let's go show you this one. So you'll see that the takeaway, hands in, club out. Posture's a little more erect than we were used to with Tiger. Halfway up, got a pretty vertical shaft. It's just in the practice of it. When he swings, it's not that vertical. Now watch when the club goes forward. Now you'll also note the cup left wrist. Club's right on the plane, if not slightly across. Now watch this downswing rehearsal here, especially this one. Notice the descending nature of the hands. So you mark the hands here, and then you watch him go right down toward his toes, and the shaft stay steep, and then come in with the hands almost hitting his legs and the club out. Now it's a rehearsal. It's just a feeling he wanted to get of keeping the club in front of him by dropping his hands down and keeping the club out. But notice when he's doing this that the lack of lower body movement. So this is an arm feel, and the legs are essentially more quiet there. And then later, everything moves together. And as I've shown you, one of the headaches with Tiger over the last bit is that his path is overly in to out because his legs are a little slow. And I believe it's because his hands have been dropping ever since Haney got him to drop his arms vertically behind him. When you drop your arms vertically, the lower body doesn't have much of an encouragement to open up. Now, check this out. A little more space away from the body, a little more bent over. So, kind of a little more back to the way he used to set up. Again, hands slightly in toward the body, the club slightly out in front. Still probably a little vertical there on the rehearsal with the shaft. So if you draw the shaft here, you can see that would point somewhat inside the ball. Again, definitely not laid off. Now, watch this. Here's the deal. Here's the difference. Now, I got it on decent authority, since one of my students actually worked with Foley fairly regularly over the last couple of years, that when Sean got TrackMan, it was just after this Chevron tournament. And what they found was that Tiger's approach with the hands dropping was overly in to out. Now, I'm going to put a dot right here on the grip end. And again, it's one of these TV things, so it's a little small, but let's watch the movement, and let's draw the line. So here's the rehearsal now. You'll notice that the shaft is shallowing instead of steepening, meaning that if I draw this line here, you'll see that the shaft dropped in this direction. So he flattens it out. Now let's draw the line through the hands here. Alright, so that would be pretty much right out to the ball, if not just beyond it. So completely different set of feelings and in the rehearsal here. And notice how the club and the arms still move well left. So that's the same, but the routing to get it there is completely different. Now my argument has been that if you watch Hogan, this is more of what you see with the shaft shifting flat early here and then steepening. And one of the key move is that when the hands don't go straight down, the upper right arm here and the right elbow can also move to a position that's more in front of the front of the rib cage. And that, if you look where that right arm is what is so different between what he's doing now and that. Look where the right arm is on the rehearsal. Thus the left arm is a little bit more out, but the club is in front of him and it's going left now. When he swings, what's going to happen is the force of the rotation is going to take the club and hopefully shallow it a bit more, so that when it gets to about here, the shaft would be cutting across his arm a little bit more this way. So what we're going to look for in the swing is, when do the legs square and where do the hands travel starting down? So let's take a look at the swing here. This is a longer iron. He was knocking this one. He had an awesome shot under the wind here. Alright, so let's take a look. There's the slightly inward move of the hands. The club is outside the hands. Now, like I said, if you're looking at the real swing, one of the differences in a real swing is the amount of rotational force of the pivot, so the club is rarely as steep, and you can see it. That's perfect right on the plane. So all these positions here are pretty much mint. Now, this is the best his swing has looked at the top for a long time. That's on the money, and the wrist does not look bowed. So we watch the actual swing here on the left. You'll see the club is definitely more laid off. The wrist is flatter, and the hands are going to drop straight down with the right arm still a little behind him, halfway down. Now, let's take a look at the path here, coming forward with the swing in Australia. Definitely see the shallowing. Here's the grip. So if we draw it. Now, not out to the ball, but definitely more out. Club is shallowing. Now watch, the right arm is coming in. Look at this amazing angle here. I mean, that's about as much as you'll see anywhere ever. But here, look at the clearance that the right arm have. I mean, it's not even close to being behind him at all. So two huge keys. One is that the outward movement of the hands indicates that there's more effort to hit from the side, more rotation. And as proof, let's watch the left knee and see when that left knee is gone from view, right about there. Now, it's the first time in a while also that you've seen Tiger's left arm higher than parallel to the ground when the hips have re-squared. Now that's old Tiger. The swing is actually getting back to what he's good at, but it's actually better because the backswing is better. Now look at that clearance. So you look at that. When I look at that, what I compare that to would be this one that I've shown you like a million times, but still think it's like the best swing ever. Let's take a look at the approach positions here. See, that's what I look at. Look at the right arm, look at the clearance, look at Hogan, look where the left arm is. Now I do still think that the knee is not perfect. It's still a little bit of a problem, and I think the next thing is he's going to be able to get his upper body to open up just a little bit better on the approach. Shoulders still tend to stay vertical and square a little bit longer maybe than he would like. I think this is the best he's swung in a long time. He hit the ball nicely in Australia. I don't think he's putting as good as he used to, but if that comes back, I think it's going to be really good for him. So if anybody is of the opinion that there's something wrong with his swing, I mean, that's a great golf swing. So let's take a look at another shot here. Now this one, the camera angle was a little bit odd. It's kind of right up on top of him, but we get a nice picture of his leg movement here once the camera stops moving around like this. So from right here, let's see how he's doing as far as staying in the box. Right there, there's still a little bit where he can't quite finish over to the left as much as he used to or would like to. But again, look at that space. Watch the club come around. This is way different, and this is way better. See, now he's getting close. He's getting close to doing what Hogan was doing. I mean, there's nobody that is putting the swing in places that are this good now. I fully expect him to start whipping up. And again, here's the key. There's the grip. What we're looking for here is the effectively going this way with the body and also going that way with the upper body, and see how much it more looks like that. Now you take these longer clubs, and this is where he was really dropping the thing down. Look at that. Right about halfway to the ball now. Club trailing, opening up nicely. Finish looks natural now. See, it doesn't look forced. The right arm is coming out the way it should, not like when he was swinging with Haney, the thing looked kind of goofy. Raising up, getting real high. This swing just looks great to me. So who knows, maybe he's been watching Wayne D videos. But that's exactly what I said that he needed to do, and look, he's doing it. So kudos to Sean Foley. Now obviously it's Foley that is suggesting to him that, okay, let's not drop the hands down anymore. Even though we were working on that, let's switch it up. See, Tiger trusts Sean, and he's going to go with him. They're going to look at this stuff and say, you know, it'd be better if he didn't like that shot, but still. He said it would be, you know, when Foley says, look, let's try this, you know, Tiger's going to go, okay, let's see what happens. I think it's all good. Okay.